Hey everybody, welcome back to another Gravity Ace devlog Twitch live stream thingy. I think last time, can everybody hear me okay? I think last time I'd finished up just about everything on the to-do list except making some levels. And I think I made some decisions this past weekend. I'm not ready to actually talk about them yet because I haven't confirmed anything yet, but it might mean I'm going to ask for a little help to finish the game. And we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you updated. But the good news is, I mean, that hopefully will lead to the game being done sooner. So we'll see what happens. Let me check something real quick. All right, so I'm just going to get into it here and start working on a level. All right, so this is the level editor. I'm sure I've shown it to folks before. But in case you haven't seen it, I've got all the different entities in the game here. Things like, arrows. I can zoom in here. And you can rotate things. I've got all the different enemies, right? You can put those down. And I've got these drawing tools. So you can put in terrain. And I've got different brush shapes, right? I can do blocks or these spiky ones or these really spiky ones. And then you can erase with all this stuff too. I can do that, right? I'm pretty happy with the editor. So I'm just going to delete all that stuff. This represents the starting position where the player will spawn in. And what I like to do is basically just sort of sketch out what I think the level might be and play around with some of the different, some of the different entities and other stuff I have in here. Like, oh, I need to change this icon. Yeah, I need to make an icon. See, again, making games is hard because there's always more stuff to do on the to-do list. These are both laser beams, but this is a single beam and this is the rotating beam, and they look the same in here, so just something for me to do. But so what I like to do is basically just sort of sketch out what the idea might be first. And I think I want to make a level that's kind of like a tunnel, and maybe it'll, so something like this, right? And we'll have the player start at this side. And this isn't going to be like the first level, so by the time we get here, the player should already know how to fly, and the player will know about gravity and all that good stuff. Let's play it. To play it, we need to save it, so just save it real quick. Unnamed level. What's up? Alright, so one thing I'm noticing is you can't see the top and bottom of the cave. They're not both on the screen at the same time, so I'm going to jump back in the editor. And you can see that with the in-game camera bounds here, but I didn't notice it before. So I think I just want to shrink that a little bit. Right, so now when I jump back in, right, I can see the cave. So I know, just at a glance, I know I need to go this way. And then I don't think I want the cave to open up just yet. I want to go this way a little bit. And then, what? Let's do... I think I kind of want like a branching thing where I have part of it going this way and part going this way. Maybe maybe there's something you have to do up here. I don't know. Let me just come up with some interesting shape first. Let's see. Maybe I'll just make a loop. Oh, I know what I'll do. So this will be, I'll have this be a gate right here. Oops. Let me do, this will be where our exit is going to be. Right, so I'll do something like that. Something like that. Right, and then I'll put this beam here. Right, so when I fly over there, I'll be able to see, oh look, there's something here. Let me play from the start. There's some kind of bug when I start the game, when I just jump in without restarting from scratch, that some of the gates are not solid. There, this is solid. Right, so the player will see this and go, oh, I wonder how I get through there. And I could put something like a reward on the other side. Like some coins. And I think the player should be able to see them. Yeah, just barely, right? They'll be able to see them. Can't scoop them up though. Right? Let's move them a little closer. I'm not sure how close I can get them before they're attracted to the player. Yeah, that could be. They might skip past it. I mean, we can adjust that. But I think I want the player to kind of fly this way, and they're like, oh, what is that? Let's see. So to do that, to make them go down that way, we'll have to basically lower this, right? Like that. So now you have no choice but to go down that direction. You'll start back here, and you're flying along. Right? So you can't get through. You've seen the locked gate. And you need some way to open it. And that could be as simple as a button. It could be something else. How big do I want this level to be? Could be like that. Maybe if I did something like that. Like that maybe? And then you could choose to go either direction. You have a decision, right? You can go this way. Or you could go the other way. See how wide this is? Yeah, it's like too wide. I'm cheating and giving myself extra fuel. Could also do something like this. Right, where's my camera? Something like that could be fun. Okay, let's do this. Let's make this kind of a challenge, and we can put the reactor core here. And we can test getting it out. So you want to pull it like that, and then kind of just let it fall down. That'd be the easy way. If you're not careful, hey Judd, if you're not careful, you could lose control of it, right? And then it's more tricky to get it back out. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Let's see, what if I did this? Let me give more choices here. Something like that. So then you could go make it more dangerous looking. So then you could go in from the top or the bottom. I don't know how I like this. So I've got these pieces, right? Even though I was drawing them, right, like this, I can still just move them around, rotate them, keep drawing on them. So if I don't like the spacing, I can go in and I can do some erasing, or I can just move the whole thing. This number here is the number of vertices. I don't know why I have it there. I think it's because, I mean, there's a limit of how many you can have on a single object. I think it's like 500 or 1,000, something like that. But mainly it just kind of looks cool. It's almost like each one has a name. That's fine. Let's see. So we can do something like this. Right? And if I fly over there, right, you can see that gap, but you can't get through it. And over here, do a similar thing. Right? And see what the camera is. Even if the player's right there, they're not going to be able to see beyond there. So to the player, it looks like this just goes on forever, right? I think I want to make this like a booby trap kind of a challenge. Yeah, I'm going to add some enemies in a minute. I was thinking just now that I could put in some like drones in here. These guys have like something like that. And those would be hidden. Right? These are all going to be hidden. Until this is beamed. And when it's beamed, it'll activate that guy. And it'll activate that guy. And activate this guy. And activate this guy. So now they're all hidden until this gets beamed. Let's see if that works. Oh, I'm having trouble. That was dicey for a second. So what you might want to do, let me move these in a little bit. Because they don't appear unless they're on camera. That's why they kind of didn't all appear at once. Which is actually fine. But let's have them all appear at once. So you're going to pick this up, and then your instinct might be to just run with it, but it would be safer to put it back down, right? And then deal with these guys. Let me see if I can actually do it. Oh, because I died, it didn't know where to start me, so it put me all the way back at the beginning of the level. Because I went into the editor when the ship was off the board. Any more? No? Alright. So now I can pick it up again safely. And then get out. Could do that too. I could close off the exits, so you can do like a beam here. Let me see. Let's do like that. And like something like that. That, right? So let me see. This one would be open. And if you beam, close that gate. And it will close that gate. Oh, you know what? I don't have a condition in the game where these would open up again. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Are you thinking like right now as soon as you beam it, they appear, right? But you're saying they shouldn't appear until you actually lift it off of the platform? So not like that, more of a delay, right? Wait until it actually lifts off the platform and then they would appear? Oh, move them into the exits. I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, so that would be like this, right? And that'll work. What'll happen is they won't appear until you get close to the exit. Let me show you. Because they're off camera. Right? So I'll beam it, and they're not there. But as soon as they appear on camera, then they'll be there. And same with these guys. Yeah. I mean, that might be more fun. Because then, by that point, you're already carrying the thing, so you have to deal with the thing, the reactor, as well as these guys, right? Makes it more challenging. Look, I'm home free. I got it. Oh no! Oh, this thing's heavy. Alright, and let's see. I also should put some defenses in here. So there'll be a turret. That. And let's do a turret here. And we'll do one here and one here. So as you're coming up on it, you'll see them. They'll see you. Oh! Oh. You know what I'll do? I think I might. I kind of like the idea of blocking this off. Let's delete that. Delete that. Let's put one here and here. And then we'll put a gate here. This one will be open. And we'll put one here. and that one will be closed. But then, when you get it, this one will open. Oops. And this one will close. So you have to go out the top. Let's see. So you're just flying through a cave, minding your own business. Yep. And you see this, and you're like, oh, I'll go this way. Yep, I can go that way. But if you took this fork, maybe I should reverse these. Because I think it's more natural if you're flying this way. If you're flying this way, it's going to be more natural just to keep going straight, right? Rather than turn. And then when you get the thing, then that one's going to close. And you have to go out this way. Yeah, let's do this. Let's swap these guys. Let's put, oops. Put this one here. And put this one here. So then when you're coming this way, it'll be more natural to come this direction. And you'll see, oh man, it's closed. So you'll have to go around. Come in here, these guys. Then, see now that one closes. And you're like, oh crap. Yeah, and then you run out of fuel and die. Oh, lordy. That's a tight squeeze. I don't even know if I can get the reactor back out through there. Here's the trick. Is it even possible to get back through here? Yeah, that'll be tricky. So that needs some work. Maybe that would be the player. Yeah. So you'd have to... this tight squeeze is going to encourage the player to not go through that way. Commit to the tunnel before you can get a shot on it. Yeah, right? Like moving it down here or something like that. Let's see. Let's make a little spot for it. There. And then, let's see. Let's do another one here. So you've come around. You're like, all right, here's a tunnel. Here's where I'm going. No, come back. Come back. Alright, I kind of like that, the little battle that happens in here. So the player will come this way, they'll kind of be encouraged to go this way, and then I'll make this really tight. That way the player knows they're going to have to find another way out with this thing. Right, so they'll come in here, they'll be like, nope, I'm not going that way. But perhaps I can escape in this direction. Because look how easy this cavern is here. Such wide, luxurious lanes. I don't know if I like this. Do we want to have the player backtrack? Because they're going to come this way. They might go all the way around already. Or they might have come this way and gone down. That's going to close off. This will open. They can come around this way. I don't think I want this. Maybe we're just going to close that off. We'll see. We can always change our mind later. You know what? I'm just going to move it. So you will have seen it because you'll either go this way. Yeah, because you have to come in through the top here, right? So that's where we'll put that. We'll just move it. Right, this will be here, like this. Something like that. And we can put a gate here. Oh, let's just get in there and do this by hand. So you can draw, right? But you can also just move these things around. And you can delete them. That. Or you can add new ones. So now that I've got that, I can do that. And that guy, that will be where our exit is. Right? And yeah, so then the challenge will be you have to get through all this to get out to the exit. And this might have been an area you've already been through, or it might not. Right, that's starting to look like a level. And then this, whether it's destroyed or beamed, I want to activate this exit beacon. So no matter what happens, if this thing is destroyed or whether it's beamed up, you can still exit the level. You know what I'm thinking of doing? Can you suck in stuff on tractor beam for a short time, like holding in your breath? I mean, one thing you can do, let's look at this. So if there is a spot, right, that's too narrow to fit through, because your shield will hit it, right? So you can disable the shield and then you can fit through tighter spots. It's dangerous, of course. But the other thing I'm thinking of doing is thinking of adding a mechanic where if you shoot, after 1 second of shooting, your shield turns off because shooting uses too much power. And then the shield will stay off until you stop shooting. So effectively, you can't shoot and be shielded at the same time. I haven't implemented that yet, but I think that will be a fun nuance to the game. Because right now, there's really no reason not to shoot. You can just hold down the button. There's no penalty. There's no reason not to be shooting, really, right? But if you don't have a shield when you're shooting, then there's a reason not to hold down that button. And you'll have to time your shots. If you see a bullet coming at you and it's about to hit you, you can choose to stop shooting and let your shield absorb it, right? And you might be in a situation where you're shooting something, but there's other bullets coming at you from over there. And now because you've been shooting that other thing, your shield is down, so you need to dodge, right? Or time your shooting so that it stops and gives your shield time to regenerate. Yeah, for sure I'm adding that in. That'll be fun. So now I've got this guy. I don't think I want to be able to suck in the object that you're beaming, just because I think part of the fun of this game is that it's hard to control. Like when this thing's on this rigid connection, right, and it's swinging around, it's not only hard to control, but it can be fun, you know, and you can do stuff like this. You don't have to move it around with the tractor beam alone. So to fit it through tight spots, you can actually just push it through. Like there's other ways to do that same thing, right? That's not right. That should open. Oh, it should also open this one. I didn't do that. No. There we go. So like I can even like swing this thing and just throw it right to where I want it to go. Oh. Don't get too fancy, John. And this should be open. Yeah. That's kind of an interesting level. What if I tried this thing, put it right here. Just for the fun of it. Does that make sense? That's interesting. If I do that, I think I want to... Oops. If I do that, I think I would want to do something like that. Oh no! Circle behind everything? Do you see it on the screen right now? What are you talking about? Oh, this blue line. So it's a visualization. Whoops. It's a visualization of this actually. So you can see all the different lines. That's like kind of how everything's connected. And like these guys have these arcs. This is like their firing radius or firing arc. This one has this circle, and it's the waypoint distance. So when the ship is flying, I'll show you here. Let me turn this guy off. So you see there's no arrows on him, but when he gets into that circle, right, when he hits this radius, you'll see an arrow appear. So that arrow is pointing to the reactor core, but it only activates in this radius, and that's this. Right, so you can make it really small or you can make it really big. It defaults to 1,000 pixels. That way you can kind of adjust it for your level, right? So like you might not want the player to know how to get to the reactor until they can see it, you know. But you might want them to have like a clue of where it is, like as soon as they come into the level, maybe. So you'd make it really big. I think that's fine. Just back. I think that's going to be tricky, right? You're going to see it. Oh, but you might not see it soon enough, right? That's a tricky thing. And then it's because of the way it's rotating, it's going to encourage you to go to the top, which is fine, because that's actually the way to get in. But what if I made it rotate the other direction? And then you're coming up on it. Yeah, so now it's going to encourage you to go this way. I don't know, some curious folks might want to be like, where does this thing go? Oh, dang it. Oh. Gotta watch out for the ends of that thing. This thing's dangerous in tight quarters. Alright, made it through. Oh no, oh no. Bounce through here. Oh man, I should have gone the other direction. Put some enemies in here to fight. to make that interesting. Maybe a fuel depot or something like that. Who's shooting? Oh man. Oh no. A gas. Maybe I could put a fuel pickup right here. Come this way. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll put a fuel depot right here. I don't know. How many levels am I going to make? I don't know. Thank you, Wallaber? Wallaber? Thank you. I don't know how many levels I'm going to make. I think at some point I want hundreds of levels, but I'm not going to make them all myself. So one of the things I want to do is have a way to upload and share levels with other players. So there's going to be a whole, community section of levels basically made by other players that you can play. But the ones that'll come with the game, I'm thinking at least like a dozen, maybe. Yeah, Firebase, right? I haven't even started writing a server yet, so I was looking at Nakama, or maybe writing my own, which is fine. It's not too hard. It's just more work to do. But yeah, some way to store levels and upload them, and then I need to build an interface in the game for browsing them and downloading them and all that stuff. It's coming. But the levels that would come with the game, I'm thinking at least a dozen, maybe 20. And then at least in the early access. And then for the final finished game, maybe 30 or 40 levels total as part of the core game. But we'll see. It's, I need to make them. And it's kind of slow going. That's kind of one of the things I was hinting about I might get some help on. Yeah, so I was actually looking at this. Let me see. Do. That's where I keep my life. Difficulty curves, right? So there's like a story curve where this is like tracking emotion, right? This is like, I don't know, bored, getting more invested, interested, like super excited. Oh no, we hit a low point. We're going to lose. Climax, right? This is like the story, emotional arc of a story, right? And then this is like the difficulty ramp. And I don't know if I don't have a tutorial per se, but something like this makes sense where it gets more difficult, you introduce some kind of new mechanic, and the difficulty goes down, then it goes up again. Something along these lines, right? And then climax, obviously, some kind of boss battle, right? Would be the most difficult thing. Although that's not always true in games. I've been playing a lot of Jupiter Hell, and in Jupiter Hell, depending on the build that you do along the way, the climax is actually really, really easy. So it'll be a combination, right? One way to ramp up the difficulty in this game would be to just add more enemies, right? More weird booby traps, puzzles where things turn on and off depending on what you're doing. One of my friends made a cool level where you had multiple of these platforms, right? Like you had one here, and there's one here, and there's like lasers between them. And you had to actually pick up the thing, and when you picked it up, some of these would turn off and some would turn on. And you drop it on another one, and some of them would turn off and some of them would turn on. There are buttons that you could push, and some of them would turn off and some of them would turn on, so you could advance that way. That can increase the difficulty. So there's puzzle aspects, there's number of enemies aspects, there's this whole booby trap thing where enemies appear. There's just the geometry of the cave itself can be very can increase the difficulty. Like going straight up through a cavern is pretty easy, dragging the reactor core, but going horizontally is much more difficult because you have to keep it, it wants to fall down. And then there's these things too, these gravitational anomalies. These have a radius, and they change gravity within their radius. So this one is attracting things, and you can make it repel things as well. Now it's repelling things. And there's a combination of, like, you can imagine, right? If I had like a bunch of these, maybe they were small, and they act kind of like bumpers as you're going through. Or maybe there's just a giant one that's super strong. And anyway, so all that stuff together is going to help ramp the difficulty. I'm probably not going to add any new mechanics to the ship itself. I mean, one thing that you can do, and probably I'll do this in earlier levels, is you can disable the different features of the ship. So maybe the first level you're playing, you have the shield. And then later you get the gun. And then later maybe the gun goes full auto. And then later you learn how to beam things. Fuel, can be turned on and off. So maybe the earliest level has fuel and the shield, but none of this stuff, right? So the first few levels will be, teaching how to fly and how to deal with this sort of things, and they'll have various parts of these turned on or off. You can also ramp the difficulty because fuel is a limited resource. You might start some levels with like no fuel or very, very little fuel. And so right from the get-go, you're scrambling the whole time to find the next fuel and the next fuel. Other levels might have an abundance of fuel, and it's not that big a deal. So there's a lot of different ways that you can mess around with the difficulty in the game. I think I've made quite a few different mechanics and combinations of things that can be put together in an interesting way. At least a dozen interesting ways, if I wanted to have a dozen levels. But we'll see. Oh, hey, look at that. I didn't know if that would work. Thanks for following. So, yeah, so we've got the fuel. I think this works fine because this will still encourage people to kind of go this direction. If they did go this way, straight down and up, they might find they don't have enough fuel to finish the game. So on their next run, they might go this way instead. Get the fuel. Let's see. Let's add something defending the fuel station. That. And let's see. Let's put some more. Let's put some of these guys. I don't know how these guys are going to react actually to this rotating beam. That'll be interesting to see. They might just get clobbered by it. So you're going to escape down through here with the reactor. I think I want them to... Yeah, that's fine. So this will be like an easy section until they get to here. Do I want anything in here? It's fine for now. Let's see. Let's just play from the start and see what happens. So I haven't added in a lot of props or decorations or anything yet. Right? Right. They'll think, oh, this is easy. Look, it's just flying. Nothing's going on in here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What the heck is this thing? I've never seen one of these before. Wild, man. Alright. Whew, I made it through that. Oh, lordy. Yikes. No, I'm already down to 76% fuel. My waypoint indicator says the reactor core's up there, but I have to find another way. Right. Oh, oh! Who's shooting at me? Alright, okay, got that guy. Let's get some gas while we're here. Whoa. Stop. Alright, this is where I was, right? Alright. So now I'm gonna get this thing and go back out. Oh man, I can't go out that way. What are you, killing me? Oh my lord. Oh. Oh. Just getting clobbered. That might be too hard. I think I need to make a note here. If you die and you're carrying the reactor core, what should happen? Should it just sit there and wait for you? Or should it fall like it's been doing? Right? Because if you get shot, shoot me. Right? It falls. And then you're kind of screwed. Yeah, see, it just blew up. Right? It blew up. Maybe that's not fair. Maybe that's not fair. Is it fun? That's not fun, right? I mean, it does make the game harder, right? If you can still beat the level, you just don't get all the points because you didn't rescue the reactor core. Can I shoot that guy? I got some bugs. So as soon as you get it, though, then you're like, oh, I'm not going that way. I'm going this way. Get up there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that one. What to do when the player dies and he's carrying the reactor core. Maybe it just falls. like it's been doing, but maybe as a cheat, it just it falls slower. Like at 1/10 the speed or something. Oh yeah, or maybe the shield stays on. That would be a good thing actually, because then it could fall down and just bonk off of things. But because you're dead, the shield stays on, so it's just sitting there waiting for you to come get it. Yeah, it can just sit there. I like that idea. I like that idea. All right. So I need to write that down. All right. What were the other things? Let's see. Keep the shield on. Keep shield on. Reactor when player dies. No, I think it'd be fine. I think it'd be fine. Shield is gone and then you die. Yeah, I think if I do this, what'll happen is I mean, that is interesting. Maybe that doesn't work. I mean, on the one hand, I do want... I mean, I want the player to be punished, but I don't want them to be punished. If you know what I mean. Like if you get shot and you're carrying this thing out, I don't know. See, this is one of those decisions I just need to try it. I just need to code it up and try it and see how it feels. And maybe I'll like it and maybe I won't. Or maybe some other idea will come along that, because of that, just trying it out. Yeah, because you're right. If the shield comes on every time you die, then you would never lose it, right? Yeah, maybe. But then again, well, maybe it wants to go back to the platform. And every time you let it go, it just tries to go back there. So if you dropped it, but then, I mean, that would be punishing because you'd have to go back again and get it. But it wouldn't, but it would still give you a chance to get it and get out with it. Interesting. I mean, again, I just have to try a couple of things and see. I know for sure I don't like... Yeah, maybe. I know for sure that I don't like that you can die and it just starts falling and then you have to rush after it to catch it. I don't like that. Maybe, what I do with the fuel, if you run out of fuel, it starts that countdown, that self-destruct timer, right? But if you die, the self-destruct timer stops. It's like you shouldn't be penalized during the few seconds it takes to respawn. Maybe what I should do is just pause the game. Like everything should just stop when the player dies. And then when you respawn back in, it'll start falling again, right? So you still have to go and catch it, but you're not penalized for something where you're not in control anymore. Like if you died and just instantly respawned and there was no delay, then the thing could just keep falling and it would feel fair. But if it stops while you're respawning and then just starts falling again as soon as you can have control again, I think that might feel better. I don't know. Yeah, right. So while I'm here, let me show you guys some other things. So you can edit the level, right? You can give the level a name. You can give it a subtitle. And then when you play it from the start, the name and the subtitle show here. And then you can also see all the levels in this campaign. This campaign is Act 1. And you can drag and drop the levels to choose what order they play in. So our new level here is at the bottom. And, you know, we can move it up, change the order of these. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 levels so far. It's not bad. It's not a bad start. But I need to refine them and work on the order that they play in so I get that difficulty ramp the right way. Still a lot of work there to do. The thing auto-saves, right? So every time I make a change, every time I hit play, it just auto-saves everything. You can change the overall gravity of the level, the starting fuel, all this stuff. What else can we do in here that I haven't shown? Oh, and then I've got all the props and stuff, of course. So once I, you know, have a skeleton that plays nice and I like the way it works, then I go about decorating it. You can do that with these like steam vent thingies and adding like my space grass and adding little rocks, little background rocks and little alien structures, right? Put little people in the level. Like here's a guy you need to rescue. And here's a guy you need to rescue just hanging out here on this outcrop. And I don't know how this guy got there, but there he is. All right, little dudes. And you can put coins. Go this way. And little floating little fuel cans. Maybe there's a couple of fuel cans in here. Right? So that's the kind of stuff that I'll add in once I've got the level actually fun to play. Oh! Dang it. Oh, and I forgot my new enemy. That's what I forgot. I forgot my rocket launcher guy. Let's put one here. This'll mess things up. Whoa! think this will be fun too. Once I've got that mechanic in where if you're shooting, your shield goes down. Because these guys, they have so many hit points, it takes a long time to kill them. But you can't just keep shooting at them if you're also being shot at by other things. You'll either need to maneuver or stop shooting to get your shield back on. To go around again, right? But I've already been this way, so I know it's clear. I just have to deal with getting this thing through here and getting out with the fuel that I have. So I've got a little fuel anxiety because I'm in the yellow. No, 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 no. Here we go. And alley-oop. So I'm not going to get an S. I missed one of the people. Not bad. Did it in 130 seconds. So a little over 2 minutes to finish that level. I reckon a new player would have to do it a couple of times. The kitchen sink. I don't know. It's hard for me to say. I need to do another play test at some point. I like this game, but I have no concept of whether what I just made was difficult or easy. I need other people to play it and let me know. And it's hard for me to say if it was fun too. I'm so used to playing this. I play this game every single day. And I'm not bored of it per se, but I mean, you play it every single day and you're going to lose something, right? You're going to lose some objectivity. Yeah. I definitely need to do another playtest. If you look at my list here, where the heck is it? My changelog. So the last beta I did had these changes in it, right? Since then, I've done all of this. Just a crap ton of stuff, and I haven't done another playtest yet. And that's partly because, I mean, look at the timing here. This is February 17th, right? So then COVID-19, worldwide pandemic hit, and I've been in, quarantine mode making the game. And I don't know, I haven't seen my friends physically in months. And I don't know, it just makes it harder. But I should definitely do another test. So I think what I need to do is, once I've got a couple of these levels in kind of an order where I think it'll work, I need to get it out there to people again, and you can play it and let me know. I think I want to save a couple of levels though in secret, so that there'll be a surprise. Yeah, right. Is that still a thing? Is that still happening? I thought all the games conferences got canceled. I don't know. I don't really keep up on that stuff. Yeah. Anyway. Lots of stuff still to do. I'm going to go eat dinner. But, yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. That was fun. I appreciate all the help. And, we'll see you next time. Remember, please tell all your friends. Go to Steam, wishlist it. Go to itch.io, follow me on Twitter. Go to gravityace.com. You can find the link to the Discord server there. Come join us on Discord and say hey. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Adios.